Mom's voice sliced through the air like a knife. "You're the most useless child we have." The words landed slow and deliberate, each syllable cutting deeper than the last. The room froze. Every conversation, every sound of clinking silverware stopped midair. My cousins stared. My aunts and uncles shifted awkwardly in their seats. Even the ticking clock seemed to hesitate. I looked at her, the woman who had raised me, molded me, and somehow learned exactly where to strike to cause the most pain. I placed my napkin on the table and stood up. My tone was steady, calm, almost frighteningly controlled. "Then stop calling me when you need money." Her expression faltered. The silence that followed was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. For the first time, I wasn't the obedient child. I wasn't the provider. I was simply done. But this moment didn't come out of nowhere. It had been building quietly for years. My older brother, Adil, had always been the favorite. Charming, sociable, the kind of person who could win anyone over with a joke and a smile. I was the quiet one, the one who cleaned up after his mistakes, the one who fixed what he broke. When our father passed away, I stepped into his unfinished life, paying debts, running errands, covering business losses. Mom called me responsible. Back then, I thought it was a compliment. I later realized it was just her way of saying, "You'll handle it." Month after month, I sent money home. When she wanted a new car, I paid for it. When Adil's ventures failed again, and they always did, I covered the losses. When my sister married, I funded the entire wedding without a single mention of my name. To the outside world, I was a successful one. Inside that house, I was just the wallet that kept their lives running. It all began to unravel the day I overheard them. Mom had accidentally left her phone on after calling me. I heard Adil's voice, laced with disdain. "He's not really family anymore. He thinks money makes him one of us." And then her voice, calm, familiar, cruel. "He was never one of us. He just got lucky." I sat there in my apartment, staring at the walls I had paid for with every hour of my hard work, listening to the two people I'd spent my life protecting tear me apart like I was nothing. Something inside me hardened that day. I didn't confront them. I didn't yell. I just began to pull away, quietly, systematically. The next month, I didn't send money. No one called. Maybe they thought it was delayed. Then the first call came. Mom's voice, carefully measured. "Beta, Adil just needs a little help this month. You know how it is." I smiled to myself. "I'll see what I can do," I said, and did nothing. Weeks turned into months. More calls came, each softer, more desperate. Bills, repairs, failed investments. I responded with politeness, never anger, because revenge isn't loud. It's slow. It's deliberate. I started closing accounts I'd opened for them, canceling guarantees, cutting ties from every loan they'd lean on me for. Bit by bit, I took back everything that had ever been used to keep me trapped. Then came the fallout. The bank called. The house, their house, was under my name. My father had arranged that quietly before he passed, trusting me more than he ever said aloud. When I stopped the payments, everything began to collapse. Mom called me in tears, panic thick in her voice. "They're taking the house. Please, you have to help." Her voice trembled, but I stayed calm. "I can't this time, Amy. Things are hard for me, too." She begged, and I listened not out of spite, but out of closure. Every tear she shed echoed the pain she'd once made me swallow. That was when I realized true revenge isn't destruction. It's freedom. Tonight's dinner was the first family gathering in years. She said she wanted to reconnect. I knew better. Adil's new business needed funding again. I came dressed in black, not in mourning, but in control. We ate. We laughed. We pretended. Then she said it, the same line she had once thrown like a dagger. "You're the most useless child we have." Everyone chuckled nervously until they saw my face. I stood up, napkin in hand. "Then stop calling me when you need money." The laughter died. The air grew still. She looked at me like she didn't recognize me. And maybe she didn't, because the boy who once begged for her approval was gone. What stood there now was a man she had forged, piece by piece, through every cut, every silence, every betrayal. And he was finally free.